In this video, I'm going to show you how you can do the Geoquick project. This is in Chapter 4, Project 4.1. The first step is to download the Imperial Prototype drawing file. Your school may have this in a shared directory that you can access. If not, the book comes with files that you can download, so you'll just download the file from SDC Publications. The second step, once we've opened that file, the second step is to save it as, and you're going to save as Geoquick. That's the name of this project. So you'll save it into your home directory. I've already done these two steps. So the next steps would be activate the Model tab, set the units to decimal. We're going to follow the steps, but we also, one of the steps is to set the text style font to Arial. I'm going to take this and just move it off to the side so that I can see my drawing. So you can see here, I've already opened the drawing. I've saved it as Geoquick. It says to activate the Model tab. The Model tab was already activated for me. The Model tab is where we do our drawing, and that is, you'll know that you're in the Model tab. Well, first of all, it says Model and it's highlighted down here, but second of all, you'll know you're in the Model tab when it has that black background to it. This particular template, the Imperial Prototype, has a magenta rectangle and some text on here. The next step, it said, was to set your units to decimal. If I look down here, I have my units showing and I'm already in decimal, so this file had already done that for me. The next step is to set the font to Arial. So if you notice, this font that I have in here, it kind of looks like a typewriter font. It's not Arial. So what we're going to do is go to our text style. Several ways that you can get here. If I'm on my home ribbon, if I click on the word annotation on the annotation panel, this little button right here is my text style. I could do the pull down. So I would do format, text style. I can click on the annotate ribbon, which gives me a whole text panel. And that tiny little arrow right here in the right corner gets me to the text style. There's no right or wrong way to do this, just several ways that you can do it. So you can see standard is the text style that's current, and the font name is called txt.shx. We want to change that to be Arial, so I'll click on this. I could scroll up to the A's if I wanted to, or if you just type really quickly ARI, it'll scroll right up to ARI. There's lots of Arials to choose from. We're just going to choose the basic, just plain old Arial. Apply, close. And you can see my font change. So now this is the Arial font. Coming back to the home ribbon here. All right, so the first step in the actual drawing file is to create a rectangle. So I'm going to use the rectangle on the ribbon. I'm on the home ribbon on the draw panel, and this is my rectangle command. You can type REC for rectangle. You can say draw. Rectangle, lots of ways that you can get to the rectangle command. I'll just use the icon on the ribbon up here. Now, it wants me to specify the first corner point. The book tells me that when it asks me this, I need to type in 4, 5. That is absolute coordinate 4, 5. So from 0, it's going to go over 4 to the right, and it's going to go up 5. So always X, Y. When I press enter, it started my start point here. Now it needs to know what size to make it. You can see I can kind of drag it any direction I need to go. The size that it's telling me that it should be in the book is 3 by 3.5. So that's 3 along the X, 3.5 on the Y. So 3, 3.5, enter. And I've got my rectangle. The last part of step 2 is to explode that rectangle. So notice if I click on it one time, it is a rectangle with 4 different lines that are all one piece. If I come up here, I'll highlight it first. I'll come up here and use the explode command. It is right below the erase command, or you could type X, enter. I'll say explode. Doesn't look like it did anything, but it made it 4 individual lines. When you have something selected and you don't want it selected anymore, you can press the escape button on your keyboard, and it just deselects whatever you have selected. What I'd like to do now is zoom into this. It's kind of too far away. I want to zoom in to make it bigger. So in order to do that, the easiest way to do the zoom command is on your mouse. You have a little IntelliMouse wheel, the little wheel in the middle between your left and right clicks buttons. With the IntelliMouse wheel, I'm going to zoom in by rolling it up, 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 up. I can pan, and pan means to move it from side to side. That's not using the move command, it's just the pan command. But if I press down the IntelliMouse wheel as though it's a button, press and hold, you can see I get a little hand, and then I can pan it from side to side just to center it where I need it. So to zoom out, I would roll it down, zoom in, rolls it up. There you go. So get it centered about where you want it. I like to zoom in on my objects. I like to make sure I see it really clearly. It's not changing where the object is in space. It's still at 4,5 over here. It's just zooming into it so I can center it on the screen and see it better. All right. The next step is we're going to start using the offset command. So the first thing it's asking me to do is to offset this line, and we're going to go to the right 0.5. The offset command is right here. I have erase, explode, and then offset is right below that. I'm going to click on that command. You could also type O, enter if you prefer. The offset distance. The key to using the offset command is don't get ahead of yourself. Pace yourself. Don't click anywhere. Just wait for it to tell you what it's looking for. So all I've clicked on is the icon to start the command. I'm not clicking anywhere else. It wants to know the distance that I want to offset. So basically it's going to make a copy of this line at a predetermined distance, which is what the offset command does. The book is telling me my distance is 0.5. Press enter, and this is the first time since I started the command that I click. I will click the line, and notice if I'm not clicking again yet. If I move my mouse to the left, it's going to offset the line to the left. If I move my mouse to the right, it's going to offset to the right. AutoCAD doesn't know which way I want to go yet, so I'm going to pull it in the direction that I want to go. I'll move my mouse to the right, and I will click. And there we go. I did my first offset. When you're done with that command, press enter to end the command. We're going to do another offset. This time we're going to go from the bottom. Let me zoom out. It's getting covered up by that text. It's going to go from the bottom up a distance of 2. So offset, don't click anywhere. Type 2, enter. Click on the line and then click up. Press enter when you're done. When I want to restart a command that I have just finished, if I press enter, it'll restart the previous command. So I could either click on the offset command, I can type O, enter, or if I just press enter, just starts my last command. And now it's asking me for my distance. This time my distance is a 0.5. Press enter. Now I click on the line, and then I click up. Press enter to end the command, and you got it. The next step is to trim these objects. So the trim command is right next to the left of the erase command. It looks like a pair of scissors. I'll click the trim command. The key to using the trim command, before you click on anything, before you try to type something in, all you have to do is press enter. What it's asking me for right now is a cutting edge, but if I press enter, it just takes everything as the cutting edge. And I'll click here, click here. Notice how it gives me kind of a preview of what it's going to do. It's got the X and it's telling me, it kind of grays out that line to show me what it's going to look like. This is the line that's going to get trimmed. Click here, press enter. All right, now it looks like the figure in the book. The next step that we're going to do is start the circle command. One thing I've noticed, I can't start the circle command until I turn on my O snaps. I need to be able to snap from a corner. So my O snap icon is down here. I'm going to click it to turn it on. You can also press F3 on your keyboard. Watch this button and you'll see it turn off. F3, F3 to turn it back on. It's on when it turns blue. All right, so what it's asking me to do is start the circle command. By default, the circle command that you will see up here is a circle radius. But whenever we have circles, we're given the diameter. We never give a radius for a circle. So this will catch you, and I just want to show you. I'm going to show it off to the side here. It's a little tricky one because when you first start off, you're not prepared for this. It says specify a start point. That's what all circle commands want, so that's good. And then when I pull it out, it's asking me for the radius. If I were to type in the radius right now, and the book is telling me it's a diameter of 1.5. If I were to type in 1.5, I've just made my circle with a radius of 1.5, not a diameter of 1.5, so it's going to be twice as big as I need it. I could do some math in my head and take 1.5 and divide it by 2 and type in that distance. Or I can come in here and type D, enter for diameter. And the reason I know it's D, enter is that's the capital letter here in the word diameter. Or I could click on this button, the gray word down there. Or I could click on the down arrow on my keyboard to get to diameter. When I press enter, now it's prompting me and asking me for a diameter of the circle. So be careful. If you use this command, just remember you're going to have to force it to ask you for a diameter, or you're going to have to do some math. Otherwise, your circle is going to be twice as big. Another thing that you can do is just pull that down, and I can start the command asking me for the diameter. So center diameter. Now it wants the center of the circle, but in looking at the book is telling me I want it to say the circle is going to be over here, but I want it to come from this corner over a certain distance on the X, up a certain distance on the Y. So what we're going to do is you can type in the word from, F-R-O-M, or if you'd like, you can do Shift, right click, and this will give you what's called temporary O-snaps. So just Shift right click gives me a list of O-snaps, and what'll happen if I choose anything from here, it kind of overrides in this one moment. It'll override any other snaps that you have. There's no running O-snap. A running O-snap is when it's always on. There's no running O-snap for the from command, but if you do Shift right click, it's a temporary O-snap. So I'll click on that word from, or type the word from, and then I can click on this corner. So click here. From that corner, now I'm going to do an @ symbol. Remember, @ means relative. So relative to that point that I just gave, not from 0, 0, relative to where I just clicked. Now we're going to type in our distance. So we're going to type in 1.50 on the X, comma, 1.625. So @ symbol, you can't forget that, or it's going to take it from 0, 0, 1.5 along the X, comma, 1.625. Once I've got that, I'll press enter. I'm still in the circle command. This was just telling it where I wanted the circle of the center of my circle. Now that I've got this, when it says specify the diameter of the circle, I'll type in 1.5. There we go. I've got my first circle. The next step is to chamfer the corners. So we're going to use the chamfer command. The chamfer is just to kind of clip the corner, make it come at an angle here, like a little dog ear. So the chamfer command is buried inside the fillet command. So if you see fillet on the ribbon here, pull that down and you can get to chamfer. Several ways that you can do the chamfer command. Two really popular ways is to do distance and angle. The book is telling us to use the distance option. So I'm going to type D, enter. I know that I pressed D, enter because the book says so, but also if you look at the command line, D is the capital letter that I see down there. So D, enter. Now it wants the first distance and the second distance. How short? If I'm going to chamfer this, how far down is that angle going to start? And then how far over is it going to start? So the first distance is 0.625. Enter. The second distance is 0.50. Enter. Now the image in the book is showing me, I'm going to click on the first line. This is the first distance, so this will be the 0.625. The second distance is this one, which is the 0.5. Notice it's giving me a sample just even as I hover next to it. But if I click on it, the command ends, and now I've got an angle up there. The next step, we want to do another circle down here in the corner. I'm going to show you two ways that you can do this. First, we can draw the circle using the from command, the same way that we did this circle, and then we can fillet that corner. So I'm going to show you two ways. I'll show you one way, and then I'll back it up, and I'll show you another way. So the circle command, again, we want diameter. We're always given diameter for circle. You can type in from or shift right click to get from. Click on this corner. And now we're going to do the at symbol. So from that corner, relative to that corner, we're going to go negative 0.5. We're going negative 0.5 because from that corner we want to go to the left, not to the right on the x-axis. So negative 0.5, comma, 0.5. So that's where our circle is going to start. And now it tells us that when prompted for the diameter, we're going to type in 0.375. So that is the diameter of that circle. Press enter. Looks good. The next step is we're going to come in here and use the fillet command, and we're going to fillet this corner. Fillet is just to curve that corner. We used chamfer before on this corner to give it an angle. Chamfer and fillet are kind of buried in the same pull down. So we'll click on fillet. The first thing you want to do anytime you start the fillet command, this is something you'll just train yourself to do, is you will type R, enter, to specify the radius of your fillet. So it's telling me that the radius is going to be a 0.50. Press enter. I'm going to click here, and it just rounds that corner and gives it a 0.50. I'm going to back this up, so I'm going to use the undo command. U, enter, enter. Remember I told you I was going to do it two different ways. The first way that it talks you through in the book is, or that steps you through in the book, is to draw the circle and then draw the fillet. But a little trick here, if you start with the fillet command, R, enter, 0.50 is your radius, enter. Click this line. Click this line, it does that little radius for me. Now, since that radius happened to be exactly where the center of that circle is, that's, remember the center we did from that corner 0.50 over and up, I'll do the circle command, and this time if you hover next to that edge, I get a center O-snap. And now I can just type in my distance, my diameter, 0.375, enter. So just kind of saves me a little extra time there. Realistically, that's how you would probably do it if you were trying to be efficient with your timing. We're about to draw another circle, and it is the exact same situation. So you could use the from, you can draw the circle command first using the from O-snap, or you could do the fillet first, and you could just draw the circle based on that fillet. I'm going to do it with the fillet first. I think that's a much easier way to do this. So I'll say fillet. The distance, or the radius is, so I'll type R, enter. The radius is 0.375. I will click here, and I will click here, and it just curves it. So it's a little arc right there at 0.375. Now I can do my circle command and just snap to that center O-snap. You got to make sure your center O-snap is set current right now. It wants the diameter, and this time my diameter for that circle is 0.25. Looks great. Okay, we're so close to being done. The next step is the rectangular array command. We're going to take this circle here and we're going to array it up and across. There's going to be 2 rows and 4 columns. So I'll start the array command. There's several different array commands within that one pull down. We're going to use the rectangular array. Select that circle. When I press enter, we get a brand new ribbon up top. You never see this ribbon unless you're in the array command or you're editing an existing array. This is called a contextual ribbon. So with that ribbon, it is telling us this is where we can specify how many columns. Columns are the vertical components. So how many columns we want to have. The book says 4. The distance in between the columns needs to be 0.375. So we're going to leave those at the default. The number of rows, so rows are the horizontal components. We're going to have 2 rows. And the distance between those rows is 2.75. If I'm done with it, I've set it up, I've got my columns, I've got my rows, I've got everything that I need to have. This word associative will make them all kind of one array. I'll show you when we get back into it. I'm going to close array, and we've got it. This is what made it associative. Notice how when I click on all of them, they are kind of connected to each other, and it pulls up the array. I could change how many rows or columns or the distance if I needed to. If I had unchecked associative, these would just be individual circles. But that is it. We are done with the Geoquick. In the next video, we're actually going to scroll out and we're going to draw the cam. In the same drawing, we're going to draw the cam right up here.